If you're a woman who struggled to play the piano, maybe you took lessons but you've forgotten everything you've learned, or maybe you want to play piano but you're not sure where to start. Maybe you struggle with making slow and fast songs sound good. The At Your Own Pace lessons are for you. You'll go from not playing at all to playing in church. It opens soon, so make sure you join the wait list. The link is in the description below, or go to thetunebucket.com. What I was trying to say was, welcome to What's Your Question? I'm hopping on today to answer your guys' questions about life, music, ministry, and playing the piano. Hey, Abby. So if you have any questions as you're hopping on, hey, Morgan and Trinity, Alyssa, and Brianna, hey, you guys. You can pop those questions in the comments below. I'd love to know where you guys are joining from. I'm joining from Southern California, and I have Cross is in the room with me, and the gardeners are outside. So I might have to chase him down before this, and I feel like I have to sneeze too. Oh boy, you guys are getting the best of me. How's everybody doing today? Oh boy. Okay. So the first question that I wanted to answer, hey Sandra and Aubrey, is when I play it sounds really choppy. Do you have any tips for fixing this? I do. You came to the right place. So the tip that I have for you is, first of all, learn to flow on the piano. And the way you do that is by separating your notes. A lot of times I think that maybe this comes from, you guys can let me know what you think, but maybe this comes from, maybe if you started in a piano course that kind of had you playing a little choppy and you learned the basics by playing choppy, and that just bled over into your playing style, and it was something that you could never really get out of. And so, like, retraining your brain to play differently can be some sort of a challenge, especially when you've already learned to play the piano, and then it's kind of like you're having to unlearn that way. But separating your notes will definitely make a difference. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I wasn't planning on playing today, but I will. So if you're going to do a song like Raise a Hallelujah, if it's switched on Instagram, this is my right hand. Let me look backwards. I didn't flip the camera because I didn't think I was playing. So if you're playing in a way that might sound choppy, it would be like this. I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm, louder and louder. Hey Crystal, hear my praises roar. That's gonna sound choppy, right? So if you break it up, here's what it's gonna sound like. I'm gonna sing in the middle of the storm, louder and louder. You're gonna hear my praises roar. See the difference in that? So much better. So that's going to make a huge difference in your playing. The other thing is knowing how to properly use your sustain pedal. And I know this sounds basic, don't tune me out. I find that this plagues more people than how do I say this, than they realize. Maybe you took classical piano, or maybe you just never really took the time to master your sustain pedal, but it can cause muddiness like that if you're not really lifting your sustain pedal properly, or it can cause choppiness. So I'm gonna sing of a storm, louder and louder, gonna hear my praises roar. Okay, and that's not what you want. You don't want that choppy sound when you're playing. So if I'm using my sustain pedal properly, I, 'I, 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 ' help you. Next question. I feel like our music team has it together. We meet for weekly practices, but it seems like when we show up to rehearsals, we can't hear, the singers can't get their parts, and the musicians are thrown off. Have you guys ever been in these shoes? Raise your hand. I have too. So the question is, how do you work with your sound team, your tech team? And I know this can be a little bit of a touchy subject. Cross. He's been still this whole time. Here are some tips that I have for you. And know that when I say these, that it's a work in progress. We're all working on building our teams, whatever church you're a part of. You're doing your best job to build your team. None of us have it all figured out. I'm answering these questions from my perspective and my experience, so you can take these with the knowledge that you already know and apply that to your situation. So when you are going into a music ministry situation, Sarah, how are you? You want to make sure that you are building relationships with your team. This is so important. Now, the bigger the team, the harder it is to always connect with one-on-one. You may do things like send out an encouraging text message to someone. You may just call and check on them. You know, if there's a situation in their life that's happening, you know, maybe they're in college, or maybe they're working a job, or just, you know, ask about their life. Genuinely invest in people and get to know people. Text people, you know, directly to communicate with them. And we like to have team meetings, and I like to include everyone and get their opinion. We're doing those team meetings because it gives everybody a voice. Even in our vocals rehearsals, sometimes we'll just chat and talk and say, okay, I want you guys to let me know kind of the things that are making it difficult for you, suggestions you have, and they feel that freedom to have a voice. And when people have a voice, then there's buy-in. It feels like, oh, I'm a part of the team, so they can take when you need something from them. So build a relationship with someone before you need something from them. Now, your media team, your tech team is in high demand. You're going to have to build a lot of relationships with them because they are very important. Find people, this is the second thing, find people to serve who are passionate about what they do. If you're looking for people to serve in ministry, it's important that the people that are in those positions are passionate about what they do, because when they are, then it's amazing to work with them. They're invested in making technology work properly. They're invested in making the worship ministry's life easier. They're invested in making things sound better. So relationship and passion are the two things that I think when those combine, you have a stellar team, and you can have a stellar relationship with not only your sound and media team, but also your singers and your band. So those are my tips. If you guys have any tips, I'd love for you to drop them below. Okay, third question is, how do you develop musicians and singers? This is a loaded question. I will say that developing people is a long-term process, okay? So if you are looking to develop a new piano player in 3 weeks, that's going to be a challenge, because learning to play or learning to worship lead or learning to band lead, these are all the positions we've trained. Learning to be a sound person or a media person is a process, especially if you want them to do a good job. So I would say have a plan, a training plan. You're going to have to spend time with them training, have someone that can train them, one or the other. I don't train the sound team because I don't know much about it except for how to turn it on and how to put batteries in mics. So that's not my position. But when it comes to working with musicians, I do spend time with them. So we have a crop of new musicians who are on our team, and I meet with whoever is playing the next Sunday during the week. So, for example, tomorrow I'm going to meet with our second keys player. I'm going to go over the songs for this weekend with her so that she can practice, because I want to be able to develop people as I am growing our music ministry. And right now, our musicians are the area that I'm focusing on. So give them resources. If maybe you don't play the piano, but you are somehow in charge of the music ministry, that's okay. I don't think you have to play in order to be in charge. But give them some type of resources, whether it's YouTube videos or at your own pace lessons, or maybe there's somebody in your church who does play that would be willing to kind of sit down and teach them the basics of the piano. And then once they have a certain level of knowledge, give them opportunity. I'm glad Sarah jumped on, because we just implemented at their church the position of a second keyboardist. And so your second keyboardist is going to play not the main keys, but a second keyboard that has tons of sounds on it. So you'll have all types of brass and synth and string sounds, and that person can play along with your band while you guys are playing a song. And it makes your music department to have somebody like that. So giving a new musician opportunity to play during service. Same thing with your singers. We have a really incredible group of singers right now, and I'm really challenging them. I'm actually challenging our whole team to self-develop, be self-motivated, because if I can spend time with one person, that's great, but only that one person's getting developed, right? But if I can encourage everyone and give them the tools and resources and show them how to develop on their own, then if everybody's getting better, it's just like the whole team is rising at one time, and you can really tell the difference. So one of the things I do is encourage our singers vocally. We do vocal workouts every vocals rehearsal, and I purchased a vocal workshop that we go through with our team, and also it's Cheryl Porter's vocal workout. I forget what it's called. And as a part of that, she's created a free app for vocalists. It's a warm-up app, and it's incredible. And so I had all of our singers download that so that they can work out their voices during the week. Because if the only time you're singing is on Sunday, there's a reason it's difficult, and there's a reason you're losing your voice. So train your team. So that's the last question I had. So the questions I answered today was how to fix choppy playing, what to do about your sound team, and then how to develop musicians. So that's a wide range of topics. And thank you guys for joining today. I am doing a free How to Choose Altar Songs class. It is on June the 17th at 6 p.m. So you can sign up through the link in my bio. Please share that with someone that you know would be interested in choosing altar songs. I think that's something that we all are desperate for at times. If you've ever been in that position, you know what it's like for the preacher to be like, okay, sing a song. And you're like, I have no idea what to sing. So I would love for you guys to join that class. Hey, Claire, I miss you guys. If nobody's told you today, guys, know I believe in you. You have what it takes to be an incredible musician, an incredible leader. That's why you showed up today. Bye, everybody. Have a good afternoon.